Hi guys, and welcome back to Chronically Optimistic. My name is Abby, and the first thing I want to do is apologize to you guys. I haven't been filming videos in a really long time, and you can probably tell I am in a different environment. It is because I have moved, and the last few months have been incredibly stressful and busy, and it just got crazy in my life, and I was hoping to be able to film all of that stuff for you and share that journey with you, but it was a lot harder than I expected it to be. I couldn't have imagined how difficult this transition would be for me. A little bit of background, I have been looking forward to moving into my own house for years. It's something that I would fall asleep imagining. I would dream up my dream home while I was trying to fall asleep at night, and I would fantasize about having my own house and moving and how happy I would be when that day came. And so when my husband and I finally did have the opportunity to sell our condo and purchase our first home together as a married couple, I was absolutely so excited, and I just didn't expect how hard it would hit me in a lot of difficult ways as well as exciting. So for me, it was a huge feeling of upheaval and anxiety that hit me out of nowhere, and it came, I think, out of the fact that your home is like your safe haven and it's your nest. And for me, I had been living in the condo for nearly 6 years. So, I had put a lot of my own soul into that apartment, like I repainted every single room, I redecorated it fairly recently, and I just put a lot of myself into it. And for me, I lived at the condo during a lot of really tough times in my life. That's when my depression started back in 2013, and I was living there, so a lot of the struggles, the personal mental health struggles that I went through in the condo. My now husband, we started out as just boyfriend and girlfriend, and then we got engaged, and then we got married, all while we lived in the condo, and we got our 2 cats while we lived in the condo. And I went through university and I graduated while we lived at the condo, and so a lot of my life was spent living there. As much as there were a lot of flaws and things that I didn't like about living in the condo, I definitely felt a deep sadness when we sold it, and I realized that wouldn't be my safe space anymore. Now, there were a lot of things that I hated about living there. I hated the smells that would assault me. I'm very sensitive to smells, and anybody who has fibromyalgia or anxiety probably has a heightened sense of smell, so you can understand. And living in a condo where you're living with, I think it was like 30 or 32 other units in the building other than ours, there's a lot of smells. You smell people's cooking, you smell, it was an older building that had been remediated, so you could smell a lot of old building smell sometimes coming up through the heater, and I was extremely sensitive to that, and so that was something that really bothered me living there. Another thing that really bothered me living there was obviously all the noise and disruption that came from just living in a building with so many other people. I'm very sensitive to stimuli, and living in a building with lots of other people, there's a lot of stimuli, so that was definitely not the greatest either. In addition to that, we lived on a really busy street. It was about 4 lanes, I believe, of busy road right outside my window, and every single window faced onto that road. So it was very noisy, it was very busy, there were a lot of sirens and disruptions and just loud traffic, and that kind of stuff really upped my anxiety factor a lot. And then on top of that, I live in a very earthquake prone area, and I live on Vancouver Island, and if you do any research into Vancouver Island, you'll know that we're on a few major fault lines, and we are due to have the big one, which is a really big earthquake that they say that we're going to have that's going to have devastating consequences. And as much as I can't live my life completely fearing that every second of every day, because that would be unproductive, I did feel that the condo apartment wasn't very safe structurally. It had a lot of issues, and I felt that in the case of a big earthquake, if I lived there, I wouldn't be very safe. And that, you know, at the height of my anxiety, that really hung over my head every single day. And it's no good if you don't feel safe in your own home. In addition to that, we went through about a year and a half where we had neighbors on all four sides of us, above, below, to the left and the right, that smoked incessantly and never stopped. And anytime we opened our windows, cigarette smoke would just come in. Sometimes it was pot smoke. A lot of the time it was this very strong tobacco smell. And I felt like I had no fresh air. And after a while, it even started coming in through the floorboards and through holes in the heater duct. And so even with our windows closed, our apartment would fill up with cigarette smoke. So, you know, it definitely by no means was a perfect place to live. It had a lot of flaws and a lot of things I hated, but at the end of the day, I lived there for 6 years and it became my home, and it was my safe haven and my place where I could escape from the world. And so I was so excited to move because I was like, finally I get to leave all of these things that I hate behind and start afresh, and I get to finally have a home to call my own and a place where I can start the next chapter of my life. And I was so excited about that, but at the same time, I just wasn't expecting the amount of feeling of upheaval that I would experience. And so unfortunately, I had a lot of anxiety and sadness and depression and confusion during that time. And as excited as I was, it was very stressful. Not to mention the chaos of packing your entire life into boxes and having everything just in disarray and disorganization all the time. Anyone who knows me knows I am very organized, I'm quite OCD, and I am very perfectionist. So to have everything just haphazard, a huge mess all over the place, and everything in boxes, I was just absolutely beside myself. I hated it, and I never knew where anything was, and I just felt so chaotic, and that made my anxiety a lot worse. On top of everything else, I was dealing with trying to come off my medication and doctor's appointments and my fibromyalgia flaring up. And so at the end of the day, I was so busy with dealing with realtors and moving and packing and signing things and looking at houses and making offers and being disappointed and being excited and being anxious and being depressed and being confused. At the end of it all, I let my channel kind of slip to the wayside a little bit, and I didn't really have a lot of time to film videos and edit videos and put the time and effort needed into making those. And for that, I am really sorry and I apologize, because my channel is really important to me and I do want to make regular updates, and I'm going to make more of an effort. And I think something that probably anyone who films themselves knows, when you're having a day where your hair is crappy and you've got no makeup on and you're in your pajamas like I happen to be right now, you know, you don't feel like you can put yourself on camera and then upload it to the internet for the world to see. But today I was painting. As you can see, I've got a half-finished painting behind me. It's a commission for a little baby for their nursery, and it's by no means finished, but I was sitting working on it today. My hair is just up in like a messy whatever. I'm in my pajamas. I don't really look the best, but I was sat there and I just thought to myself, you know, I have a lot to say and I have a lot of videos that I want to make. So here's the deal. I am going to sit here for the next hour or so, and I'm going to film as many videos as I can where I go over everything that's been happening to me for the last couple of months and update you guys on literally everything that I can think of. And I'm going to get those edited and up for you as soon as possible. I'm going to break them into videos that are easy to digest, based on subject matter for you guys, and you can watch them if you feel like it, and if you don't, then don't. And I just want to say that from now on, I am going to be making an effort to upload more regularly and give you guys more regular updates about everything going on. I have a huge list of video ideas that I want to cover, so I definitely am going to work hard to not slack off when it comes to making videos. It's hard, obviously, when you have mental health issues and chronic illness to have the motivation and the energy to sit down and do this, but it's something that I am passionate about. It's something that's important to me, and I want to be there for you guys. So I hope you can understand where I'm coming from and accept my apology as best as you're able to, and understand that I am trying my best. And anyone with anxiety or depression or fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, you all know what it's like and how life can just get away from you sometimes, and you have days where you're very unproductive, and for me it's just been a little bit longer. So yeah, that's about it, and stay tuned. I apologize that I'm going to be wearing the same outfit because I'm just going to film as many videos as I can coming up for you guys, and I hope that you stay tuned. Thank you so much for all of your support. I've enjoyed reading and replying to all of your comments. That's one thing that I've been trying not to slack off on. I definitely try and reply to every single comment that I receive as much as possible. So thank you for all of your support, and I hope that you're all having a beautiful, wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video coming very soon.